Cool, they can see us and hear us. At least I think they can hear us.
Hey.
I will make wait before we do
I'm
anything.
not the comment. Can they actually hear
They
us?
can actually hear us, though I'm really loud.
Are you sure? You're 100% certain.
Yeah, I'm looking at the volume levels go up and down.
Chat again and saying, "Hey, we can only hear Conlon."
Yeah, Casey, can you listen real quick just to double check? Casey says she can hear us.
Good. Well, hello, and surprise Tuesday little live stream. We're here for the first disaster discussion, as we're dubbing it. Just something we need to do since we had a little bit of a fiasco on Sunday. Yes, we're all looking at you, guys.
No, it's fine.
I know, it's fine.
Shit happens, man. You know.
Where the first 3 hours of our 3.5 hour session had absolutely zero audio other than from Conlon. So everything amazing that happened in this past session is basically only heard through the thoughts and reactions of Rain.
Yeah, it's only me talking.
Of everyone else.
All of my good rolls are lost to time.
I know, you had such good rolls. Yes,
I was rolling so well, guys. Now none of you will know.
But we are joined here by most of our cast for the Heist campaign. We got Conlon, who plays Rain, Andrew, who plays Delson, Vicky, who plays Andy, and Callum, who plays Seabreeze, the one who needed to be rescued yesterday.
That answer is the audio only began to exist when Callum could talk. There we go. That's how when Callum.
No. The audio didn't start working till you guys were leaving Yix.
I don't remember when it was. I thought it's near the end of our discussion.
We only had about 25 minutes of actual audio, which was like the end of the session.
Oof.
Luckily, my little vision was captured because I wanted to get down the exact wording. So.
Yeah. So we're here today for a short live stream, probably 45 minutes or an hour. We're just doing a disaster discussion. We're discussing the events of the previous disaster and filling you in as we're thinking about taking this and combining it with the cut version that actually has audio for the session and putting it together just so everybody can basically know what happened in session 25. Because I'll stress it again, it was such a good session.
I will preface, by doing that, I will preface, you will probably hear this if you go, you hear this on a VOD via the session 25, is it 25, right? Is that what session we're on? Mm-hmm. Session 25, this will be the beginning of the session 25 video. We apologize, it'll probably do the beginning, a little bit of beginning, and then cut to this. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit it. We'll see tomorrow when I do that.
Are we also going to release the whole version, the terrible
the whole version will exist unlisted. I will not list it. It'll be in the playlist, but you will only see it in the playlist. You won't see it on our main page because there's no reason to get views on it because it's going to do really terrible and hurt the algorithm for us.
Only if you guys desperately want to watch it for some reason.
Yeah, just to hear me randomly react to stuff? No, okay. So, I apologize. Me, the Tech Paladin. To be honest, I have a pretty good record as Tech Paladin. That I've only screwed up once out of all these streams. Has it actually actively been my fault?
A year and a half of good record. It was bound to happen sometime.
It was inevitable. I didn't double check OBS's settings before we began streaming, and I got so into the game, I forgot to check mid-game until near the end of the session when I clicked on something and I noticed, the audio's not going up and down when people are talking. That's weird. Then I checked the properties.
In the chat.
I didn't notice Ethan. I noticed it at the same time Ethan said something, but I never checked chat.
No.
I didn't know Ethan. I fixed it by accident.
Well, going into that, so yeah, our Tech Paladin has to do everything with the audio and playing the game. So please, we are 2 followers away from Twitch affiliate now. We are at 48. So please give us 2 follows. Get us to that sweet, sweet Twitch affiliate so we can start.
Thank you, Lando Tuesday and Miss Misha Mash for our last 2 follows.
Yeah, thank you so much. Lando's actually one of my coworkers, so thank you so much, man. But yeah, so guys, this is going to be a pretty lax discussion. Feel free to chime in. I don't know. Should I be like doing it like a normal recap and then you guys comment things I missed?
Yeah, do a recap first, Brian, from you, the DM, and then we'll add stuff we think you missed. I think that's the best option.
Yeah. So let's get this disaster discussion going. Uh, so, with session 25, so everybody was was going into the fog on their way to try to get to Yix. Delson led the charge,
I
and
did.
Delson, were you in for a surprise when you guys went through the fog?
You could
So,
say that. You could say that.
for those of us who have watched us for a while, back in the main campaign, Brackett was once having a vision of a place called the Clockwork Forest that he had gone to.
Oh yeah.
And very quickly into going into the fog, Andy started hearing a ticking sound until the ticking was all around, and clocks with little circular structures, trees with circular structures inside them, clocks, which they don't know are clocks, were all around. And suddenly the trees started being almost conformed with buildings from Zista City until they were on a street. Delson, still leading the charge, everybody looking around, noticed a burning building down the path. And it was Titilia's designs and decor, the exact place, Delson, that you believe your father got rid of in 1 year ago. As you guys were looking around, you guys started seeing Delson's echoes all over the place, just staring down at them, and including one who was running out and chasing a man down the alleyway, and another shadowy figure you couldn't really see until you guys looked in and you were able to actually see the details that Delson had seen all that time ago with the dagger with his family's crest on it. See Delson kind of like freeze up, the man run away, and then Delson shake out of it and run and jump into the burning building to try to save the rest of them. I realized where the person was. He ran off into a white light, and that was the only way that they really saw as a place to go. Minor detail that I forgot. That's just super minor detail. But you saw cat owls here as well.
Yes.
Cat owl creatures.
Yeah.
The wonderful mixed creatures of
I
Clockwork
actually have
Forest.
that in my notes. I have the phrase "cat owls exist" written in my notes.
Mm-hmm. After traveling through that white light, you moved through the fog a little bit until it came to a courtyard where there was two dog house structures on either side, a few boulders around, and lots of bones with a mansion-esque house with a front porch, scrolls hanging down from the side, two artillery-like cannons almost up on the roof, and it was completely decorated with guards who are like guard skulls, guard uniforms, null skulls, null bones all over the place. And you guys first went up there. Delson, Rain, and Andy went up there, while Serenity decided to break off and try to do Serenity things, which is, I don't understand what goes on in Brian Main's mind half the time, but it brings into the chaos. You guys went up there, started the interaction as if it was just another like business transaction. Yik was actually surprised that people came out here. Uh, and Yik asked what they had for trade, what they're interested in. Yik did notice Andy's side eye that kept on going over to Seabreeze, who was in a suspended magical animation over in a glass container in the corner.
To be fair, there was a weird bird person suspended in glass in the corner of a room. Even a stranger would be like,
Yeah,
"What?"
he did say pardon the thing, and then he just kept on noticing you glancing over there, and it's just had an odd curiosity. He rolled very high on his insight for you as well
Fair.
too. I remember. I think I did have you roll deception as well, and he just beat
Yeah.
out your deception. Then started a big discussion on what you guys were going to do. Yik found out that you guys were here to try to rescue Seabreeze, or at least try to get your friend free because your friend left. There was talks about what this place is, what Yik wants, and you guys did find out Yik is here. He has that area outside the Clockwork Forest. It's basically like a perpetual link to the Clockwork Forest that he's been able to work out because he is trying to map it out. He basically let everybody know it's something tied to a part of everyone's soul. It has links to where they've been, where they are, where they could be going, and a lot of times where you don't want to be, where your comfort zone is, like all these different things. It's kind of chaotic trying to understand what the Clockwork Forest shows you. And Yik was basically interested in trying to get the soul that's trapped inside the necklace series wears, while also researching Seabreeze a little bit for the fucking anomaly that Seabreeze is with his patron, with all of his items, with everything that comes along with him. You guys discussed two possible options, which the discussion was going on for a while. It was very tense, but the two main decisions were basically give up the necklace and get Seabreeze and give something in return for Seabreeze and he'll earn his freedom, or take Seabreeze now, leave the necklace. He's going to try to separate the part of the soul that he needs from the necklace and return the necklace to you all in the morning. And then after the event, which you guys never told me exactly what you need Seabreeze for, but after the event tomorrow night that you need him for, that's something where you will return Seabreeze to him for further research. You guys were inciting the fuck out of him, and you realize... Go ahead. You can cut it anytime you guys want.
I just wanted to point out that Delson did not trust him and wanted to murder him the entire time.
Oh yeah, fucking Delson's like gripping his bow the entire time.
Rain didn't trust him, but she knew trying to murk a wizard was a terrible choice, as the group that we were at the moment. We lost Callum. He'll be back.
Bye, Callum.
We were not going to be able to kill that wizard at the time we were. Like, our situation.
I think it's debatable, but I think that we would have lost at least one party member.
If not two, because one had 1 HP.
If not two. Yeah.
Also, there's no promise if we killed him, could we have gotten Seabreeze out of the glass container? Because it clearly was magic.
Mm-hmm.
So we might have killed Yick and been like, okay, now what?
Delson the entire time was just standing there, just like, just move one finger out of place, you damn wizard.
One thing, and I will literally end your life.
That's why I said you're a protectorate. Literally why I said you're a protectorate. Your job is to protect people. So I'm like, see, that's why he's being so stuffy. It's okay. His job is to do that.
Delson was basically waiting to one thing step out of line to snap his echo into place behind Yick and just...
Yeah, literally. Just...
sword through the chest. Like whole like style from Infinity War, just kind of like
Yep.
But yeah, while this was going on, Serenity was on top of one of the doghouses, which quickly realized dogs were not inside. On each of them there were howlers. These little beautiful lovely creatures right here.
Little guys.
Which their names
aren't they so cute? No, they're not.
Their names were written in abyssal on the front. One of them is Kasil and one is Drazex. They're two fiends that seem to be almost pets or guard dogs of Yick's.
Yeah, they're good boys.
You're such a good boy. And Serenity decided to find a little chip part of the roof and drop rations in to try to befriend one of them.
Yeah, Nox gonna straight up try to save them, I bet.
I don't know what her plan is. She doesn't speak abyssal.
Mm-hmm.
True, fair.
While this is going on, through the tense back and forth discussion of what's going on, you guys were trying to debate on what the decision would be best. Yeah. You guys were basically weighing Seabreeze's life in your hands and taking his free choice away from him.
Yeah, I feel good.
I know it felt like for everyone, Raymond was like, whatever.
You got the feel that Yick seemed honest about his bargains, but it was very much in the sense of, like, he can't promise there will be no harm to Seabreeze, because Seabreeze is Seabreeze.
Seabreeze? That's why Rain was like, reasonable.
Yick is very much like, you do anything to cross me, I have no regard for you. That's how Seabreeze got in this predicament in the first place. But after some time, you guys decided, hey, we really need to maybe give Seabreeze, get his input. And with a high persuasion roll, you convinced Yick to allow Seabreeze to have a say in it as well. Before doing so, though, Rain had an idea to try to purchase some scrolls to maybe aid them in the fight, if there is a fight against Yick, by trading her King Yatalia's chilled palm, the gloves that she did find back in the Eye of All. So that is no longer on her person. That is back in my possession for fun.
I kind of regret giving them to Yick, but I can't tune to any more items.
Super valuable, too.
I'm well
Dude, you
aware.
could have given them to one of us. I'm attuned to one thing.
I meant those items for either Rain or Andy. Either those
Yeah.
are the two people, and now we'll see who gets them.
We never
But
attune to them, so we don't even know what they do. So
yeah, you guys, Conlon and Rain ended up trading that for several spell scrolls. One of them being a scroll of locate object, another one of scroll of mass cure wounds, 2 scrolls of pass without a trace, and then 1 scroll of, I believe it was conjure barrage. Yeah, you guys were talking about conjure barrage for
yeah,
that
we
last
got
one.
Conjure Barrage.
Mhm. So you
I
guys
got some
all
damn
those,
good spells for those.
Yeah,
and
I
Rain
wish
was
I had
getting,
attuned to them during that short rest though, just to see what they had done.
yeah,
Damn, we should have thought of that because we literally took a short rest before we went in.
those are cool items. I really
What a
do like
fucking
them, but
bummer. Damn it.
maybe the Misfit Warriors will find it one day. Who knows?
Yeah, give them to Pyrid so that she can do like ice damage
Wha-bam!
and prepare for
Wha-bam!
war.
Oh, God. See, that's the gift. Rain will even say, sorry, that was a gift for you. And she'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? They were mine. Wasn't a purposeful gift.
But Rain was basically almost reaching for these scrolls after the transaction, and Yik's just like, you will get your merchandise after everything is all settled.
Reasonable.
So
Annoying,
fair.
but reasonable.
Serenity kept on getting one of the howlers outside, the one named Drazex, by putting rations out, and you kept on looking over there like, what's going on, kind of thing. Like, why are you getting out of your dog house
Yeah,
and
that was
speaking
such
to
a
getting it
weird
back in?
choice. I don't know what
I was like, I don't know what
going
Brian was doing. Brian was doing Brian
He
things.
was. I know he was doing. He was hoping maybe if we do get in combat, I can befriend this one just enough where we like temporarily he's not a problem. I know what he was doing. Was it gonna work? No.
Yeah, it was like that owl bear situation where we got the owl bears to follow us in Humblewood.
Yeah.
Where we were like, be our friend for just a little bit, and we'll
Just
get
a
you out
little
of here.
bit.
We'll
Just
get you
a
out of here,
tiny
I
bit.
promise.
Dude, that's another discussion, but that was a fun moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys he ended up awakening Seabreeze. Seabreeze was trying to basically find a way to not lose his crew. He didn't want to lose Wet Hands, but he wanted his freedom. He was trying to do it without a fight, but he also fucking just didn't like this guy for kidnapping him. Wet Hands was still there, and Wet Hands was giving his input how he's been just as lost. And Yik brought up the 2 options that the group was discussing. Is this better? Yeah, this is a little bit better without my lighting. Getting the 2 options, and Seabreeze wasn't really sure. He actually asked Wet Hands for his opinion, and it was basically a way to get Wet Hands his freedom, possibly a way to not be tied to the necklace anymore. And Yik believed there's a good possibility that he would not cast the Wet Hand's soul into the abyss. It would still be here in some capacity. It would be giving him his freedom. And Wet Hands spoke to Seabreeze, what's a pirate without his freedom? And he was willing to do the risk. And you guys all decided, Colin, I love when Colin was like, who knew we were going to be dealing for a fictional ghost pirate character that was
only
half
one
a
person
throwaway
could see!
character?
I knew it.
What?
The second he showed up, I was like, oh, we're all gonna fall in love with Wet Hands, aren't we?
I screamed too loudly, and RTX voice stopped me. I said, and that only one person in the entire group could see. So, like, none of the other characters could build a real connection with him. And we all went, oh no, Wet Hands. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with us? None of us can see this character.
He was helpful. He helped us find Seabreeze. He's the one who told
No,
us
he did.
was
That
missing. That was enough to make
So-
Andy like him.
So Yik ended up, you guys all agreed on that deal to leave the necklace, to have him try to separate the part of Wet Hand's soul for the map to his Clockwork Forest from his soul, and maybe keep them unbonded from the item. In return, you guys get Seabreeze back, but you must return Seabreeze to Yik the day after the event of the gala.
Don't love it.
He cast
guys, I'm
Remove
making a
Curse.
Clockwork Forest, by the way.
Aw, come on.
Yes.
That's awesome.
By the way, I actually can draw, but not a lot.
I love it.
Yik cast Remove Curse on the item. and slowly Seabreeze's form started going back to that of the one before, the one that we would dub Wind Whisper, though Seabreeze is still going by Seabreeze. And he said goodbye, matey, and he was like, "See you." Wet Hand said, "See you on the other side." Wind Whisper was released. Wind Whisper fist bumped Yick.
The concept that happened is hilarious.
Forgot about that.
Wind Whisper did get his wand back that lets him write the script so he can speak better. And you guys all decided to leave. Serenity sneaking into the group without being seen by Yick, so Yick had no fucking idea that Serenity was there.
Didn't even know that she existed, which is
yeah.
kind of great, actually.
Before doing so, though, did a little bit of magic on you guys to make sure you maintain at least the part of your memory that remembers this and remembers the deal you guys made.
Wait, that means Serenity remembers everything.
Because Serenity. Serenity made her save. Everything she remembers fuzzily.
No, but he didn't know she was there. So how can he cast something on someone who he doesn't know is there?
What he cast on all of you kept you from losing the memory of this area. The effect of the whole forgotten storage, when you leave it, it's very much like the purity. It tries to take.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, my apologies then.
Don't forget that portion of it.
I didn't realize that. That might have been just I lost that in the moment.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was something that he cast to make us forget. Okay.
Wind Whisper for Seabreeze resisted the effect, and Delson was questioning of it, but the effect cast on everybody except Seabreeze. You guys left. Seabreeze and Serenity. You guys left, went back through the Clockwork Forest, where Andy led the charge this time, and it brought you guys to a very monastic version of Andy's past, bringing you over to the same area where Andy would also often train/meditate with Kassen. And on there, two more blacked out figures of Andy's past. One of them recognizing the voice of the Infinite One. And then the other one recognizing as the voice when Andy was running away from the Fate's favorite on Paul Seeker mission, saying, "Run, you fool." Basically, this person seeming like they were very injured and having a discussion in the sense of, I think all of this was captured with audio, so I think you can actually see this in the video afterwards.
This part exists, yes.
But basically saying he can't do this, he can't do something again, and the Infinite One promising, I can take you, there's going to be another reincarnated one, like I can slip you in with that spell.
Fucking awful, by the way. Oh my god.
Is there another soul inside Andy?
It's either he has two souls, or he is that guy that got slipped into someone else.
Yeah, we talked. Me and Vicky talked about that night. We do not know.
Those are the two options.
The Lucky Sync then discuss with sigh and heavy hearts and exhaustion. You guys took the Duna platform back and made it out of forgotten storage without any other interactions. And when looking outside to make sure there's no guards around, you guys saw there weren't any guards. However, Delson, Andy, and Serenity caught the eye of, I think Serenity. I know at least Delson and Andy, then it was either Serenity or Seabreeze. Caught the Mask of Misfortune, viewing down at all of them from across the way before backing up and heading across the rooftop.
Did you guys tell me that? I don't remember.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I still want to have tea with her.
You guys then...
As my goal as a character, long-term goals as Rain, is I will have tea with Misfortune.
You guys then walked out of Forgotten Storage, and Rain and Delson are the only ones who failed their saving throw. So Rain and Delson don't remember anything from in Forgotten Storage other than the memory that Yick protected, which was everything from when they came into Yick's courtyard to when they left Yick's courtyard. So Delson doesn't remember the Clockwork Forest that he saw, and Rain doesn't remember that, and neither of them remember the Clockwork Forest for Andy's. So Andy's holding on to a lot of information right now.
You better write that shit down. Oh, you
And
can't
then
write.
the party started
I
to walk
did,
out,
though.
deciding
I
where they
know.
were going to go. Rain asked Delson to walk her home, so that's going to be happening at the beginning of next session, and probably some sort of discussion there. While Andy and Seabreeze go back to the Rainbow Tabaxi to get some items, a little light partying afterwards just to relax after everything. And Serenity going there as well, but also has a client, the client Kinsell, the one who owns the pawn shop that you guys went to several sessions ago, who Serenity slept with at that day, has had a request for her and is back at the Fortune Welcome Gift, the place where Serenity works. And that was session 25. So now that the recap part is done, we can discuss. Conlon!
This is unrelated, I'm sorry. Do the clocks in the Clockwork Forest have second hands?
Yeah, they have all three of the hands.
Okay.
So
I thought so, because I know your style, but I wanted to double check before I finished drawing the clocks. I'm almost done with my drawing. I'm not
guys.
coloring it in.
That's fine.
thoughts about session 25, guys?
It was awesome. The Clockwork Forest being something that's not just brackets thing is interesting. That means that
Yeah.
Xylia has her hands on everyone, which is interesting. Which obviously she's a god, like duh.
Makes sense.
But
Also, though, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more intense. Like, I thought we were gonna see all 5 of ours at once before we got to Yik.
I was very worried about that because I did
happen.
not want to see Reigns.
I was like, oh shit. That's why I'm surprised that you wanted Rain to walk first, because I was like, there's no way that Rain wants to see her forest.
She was in a rush to leave. She was over she was not thinking. She was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. I'm over this day. I'm so tired.
Andy was just kind of like,
which is Andy's protectiveness was good.
Be the least awful. So I'm gonna go first.
I had an idea for all of you in there. Like, there's something I've written down for all of you walking through there. I was really intrigued, though, when the session before where Andrew walked through first with Delson. And I was just like, okay. All right, so Delson's going to get to relive this. I will be honest. There was a little bit more investigation if you guys did look around. But you guys did, like, if you went into the burning building and stuff like that. But
Andy almost did, but was like, didn't think that anyone would want him to because we were very stick together.
It was very Delson's choice. Like, it was very, like, it was his Clockwork Forest. It was very his choice on what was going forth.
Andy was kind of like, should we go in there? Like, that's why I asked if there were people inside, because Andy was trying to see if there were people inside so that he can go help, because he is that kind of bully.
I loved the reactions on Conlon, Vicky, and Brian's faces. Is all of you guys? I couldn't see Callum's, but all of you guys knew the Clockwork Forest, and the second I started explaining it, you were like,
"Oh, of course I was."
That's what I live for as a DM. Just yes, the strings are connecting.
Well, because I was like, wait, everyone, because now I know everyone has a Clockwork Forest. It's interesting.
Yeah, now I'm just thinking about, like, when the Misfit Warriors come here, like, who's gonna be the one who walk first? Honestly, I kind of feel like it's gonna be Nock, because she's the ranger. She almost always leads the party.
It's usually her or Bracket.
Yeah, Nock is
Bracket's gonna be the least concerned when he walks into a Clockwork Forest. He's gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm intrigued. All the stuff, Andrew, all the stuff that you are learning and seeing about my world in the Heist campaign. I'm intrigued to see Andrew with the reverse of that, with when he's playing as Oliver, because you guys have already seen a lot of these things have happened in season 1 and are now connecting that when it connects in the Heist. Andrew's experiencing it for the first time.
He's gonna be doing the backwards version where, like, he's gonna be connecting things from the Heist to the main campaign and being like, whoa, guys, and we're gonna be like, yeah, we remember when we made that connection.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be interesting. And with Oliver especially, like,
Oh, I know.
Oliver's
I'm
been
excited for
written
new
up
characters.
for a little over a year now, and it's a little upsetting.
I know it's been over a year since our session 0, Andrew, because we had our session 0 before session 27 of the main campaign. So
Oh,
it's been a year since you played as Oliver, which fucking sucks. But
man. It's
um,
also so crazy that we're almost gonna be over the amount of sessions we have in the main campaign and the heist campaign.
yeah,
Three sessions, my ass.
In less than the amount of time it took us to get that far for the first campaign too, like year
yeah.
wise.
So what kind of how did you guys feel about the whole interaction going on at Yix?
It was
Creepy,
tense.
intense. Yeah,
It was
creepy, intense.
tense.
I
Which
wanted to
was
murder him.
it was perfect. It was perfect how tense it was because the whole time I was just kind of like, "Oh God, we're gonna have to fight this guy." Fuck, I
I
don't
was
want to fight this
I was
guy.
working so hard to avoid it the entire time. Like I was happy with Andy. What Andy was just like Andy's like keeping calm and like we're gonna get through
Yeah,
this without fighting him. What can I do to help my friend? What can I do to help my friend?
yeah.
And then
Delson was holding back from having a Jax moment.
Andy's
My-
also not like the murder straight up people type of guy. Like pretty much unless Yik attacked them, he wasn't going to fight him because that's
Delson is
just the type of
definitely
guy that Andy is.
Delson's definitely back.
no. Once Delson saw the bones,
Mm.
that was it.
Yeah, I mean character differences, right? Like
Yeah.
there's yeah.
Rain saw the
Yik is a
bones,
neutral
respected the man
evil
immediately. He
character.
was like, "Huh, you've murdered a lot of people.
He's
I
a
don't want to be
neutral
part of the
evil
pile."
character. So neutral evil characters, they don't do it for law. They don't do it for random chaos. They do it because you got in my way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy didn't really see the bones as murder, really, because he did see the giant demon
Animals.
creatures and was kind of like, "Oh, food." We
That's
didn't
worse.
we didn't inspect. Here's the thing: we did not inspect the bones. We did not see if they were human or humanoid.
They
We
had
didn't
guard
look at-
uniforms littered throughout them.
Oh, really? I didn't hear
Yeah,
that. As I
Brian did describe that.
The guard uniforms were not littered throughout the yard, but they were propped up with the bones around the porch.
Yeah.
Delson was willing to bet that at least a good portion of the bones were humanoid.
Mm.
And
Probably.
We did not investigate them immediately.
We didn't look at
Admittedly,
you guys had other things to do.
that's
My
why
logic-
Rain played the whole like, he's evil probably, but he hasn't immediately killed us. So that means we're useful to him right now. So let's keep being useful. That's why she started off with the "I'm here to barter."
Yeah, he seemed interested in entertaining us, which was kind of
He seemed not a terrible person.
yeah.
Like he's a terrible person moral wise, but like he's not mean.
Yeah, like oh my god, I think that when Nock goes and sees him, she's gonna have a very similar reaction to Delson. Not exactly like literally holding her bow, like ready
Both of
to
the
fight,
archers.
but she's gonna have like that, like on edge, like I am 2 seconds away from shooting you in the face, motherfucker. Like that kind of vibe around this guy. So yeah, it's just character difference.
So what you're trying to
Delson-
say, Andrew, before?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Andrew, you trying to say something?
Delson's logic during the whole thing was, okay, this guy needs to die. And yes, he was likely a powerful spellcaster. B, he was probably like most spellcasters, squishy.
Yeah.
I actually let Conlon know this beforehand. And this is something that was slightly hinted at in the session because you guys saw armor
right.
that was fitted for Yik. Yik started as a level 2 paladin, and then he took all the rest of his levels in wizard.
So he can
Okay.
use armor.
Yeah.
The armor he was
Like,
wearing.
He wears hide armor.
wearing any.
Yeah, he was.
wears
Oh, he was
hide armor.
wearing. Oh, right.
Oh,
he was
another
wearing, like,
detail. Yik wears hide armor of another knoll.
another knoll.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I-
feel like is
forgot about
metal
that.
as fuck.
Oh yeah, Rain saw that and was like, nice aesthetic. Nice aesthetic. He's like, wouldn't
No,
not my
that's
style,
probably
but you
the
do
thing that
own it.
grossed Andy out the most was like, oh, that's some of him. Wait, is that him or is that not him? I can't tell if that's him.
Another thing I want to let you guys know is if you guys did fight him, you're in his lair. There's
I
lair
know.
effects and legendary actions. that
That's
this
what I
guy
was
has.
saying to Andrew after the session. I was like, this guy definitely has legendary actions and lair actions. Like, there's no way he doesn't have both. We're in his fucking lair.
Like, I feel like this guy's now on Delson's shit list. Like, alright, I'm coming back here one day.
Definitely.
Delson's
if Delson ever
Delson's gotta
finds
bring
the
him.
Misfits, he's gonna be like, hey, I wanna shoot this guy with me? Yeah,
Delson, if you do it, you
Delson
gotta
is
bring a
not
whole
that guy, actually.
goddamn army.
Delson and Nock would have a field day together. Just like the two of them, just like, alright, holding their bows, just.
Oh, that's true. Oh my god, Naki's gonna be. If she ever meets Delson, she's gonna be like, give me that quiver. Where did you get that quiver? Can
It
I
was-
have it? If not, can you help me find one exactly like it? And also, can I take one of each arrow?
No, yeah, you trade arrows because then you
Bye.
can give him a boom arrow.
It was
True,
it-
I
it-
could
I
give
believe
Well, the boom arrow is magical, and I don't think
Boom arrow is
magical.
magical.
You're right, sorry.
Yeah,
The-
magical ones don't.
Find an
work.
artificer that can solve that problem.
That's a
the
little broken.
the
Infinite magic items. What?
Artificers are broken
Mobius-
characters.
yeah, but the Mobius quiver that Delson has, it was spoils of his robberies at times. So like it's something that he acquired, and he's
Just
just
a
like
magical item I stole from someone.
Well, he
oh,
probably knows where to
yes.
get another one.
He's probably just like, oh, cool quiver. Then he got it magically identified, and he's just like, this is the best thing I've
Aw,
ever
man.
held in my
I
hand.
I have been so jealous of it the entire time. Just like my inner knock has just been like, give me,
So
give me,
back with discussion.
give me.
Back with discussions of session 25 with the deal that you guys made with Yik. How are you guys feeling with that?
Shitty. I hate it. But I'm gonna go along with whatever Kyle
I'm fine with the
wants.
deal.
Oh, I hate it.
I made the
How
deal
about
though.
you? How about you, Andrew?
I don't know.
So here's my selling points for the deal as Rain. This is Rain's why she made the deal the way she did. She wanted him to be able to keep the necklace and hope that it's still cursed, that way he gets his abilities back as he really wanted them. That's why she made the deal the way she did. Because she's like, he really likes the necklace, and I think he wants it back, and he would like weapon hands back. So that's why she kind of negotiated a little further for the not just taking him. 2, appeasing Yik seems helpful to her. At this moment, he has done nothing besides take Seabreeze. Even Seabreeze apologized for his action to cause it to happen in front of us. He said, technically it was my fault, guys, my B. So, like, as soon as he said that, Rain's like, I really feel less bad now. You caused this. It wasn't like he was, like, seeking out, like, Yik was seeking out to do something bad. It's just, Seabreeze. But Rain also wants someone to keep an eye on Seabreeze and to do whatever they can to mitigate him doing anything for his patron.
This actually somewhat works out in your favor in a weird way, Conlon, because you and I have discussed Rain doesn't trust Seabreeze on their own. You're like, I either want Seabreeze here or in a jail cell. So
This is a middle ground.
It kind of feels like a really weird middle ground.
That's what, yeah. She, in her head, she went, this is not how I wanted to solve this problem, but I'll work with it.
I will
It solves
admit
the
that it
problem.
is a good solution. However, I think getting Seabreeze just out of the city is enough. Like, I think really what's dangerous is him being in the city. I think if, like, now this is total fucking crackpot, like, never gonna happen. But you know, if Andy and Seabreeze just became pirates again, everything would be fine.
Andy breaks away from the monastery and whatever is going on back there now that Andy's learned a little
No,
bit.
yeah, he's
and
not gonna do that shit. But like in my imaginary land, where Andy
and,
gets to become a pirate, the pirate of his dreams.
and what are your guys' hope with now the end result of that deal with Wet Hands being cut off from Seabreeze, Wet Hands, the deal of Wet Hands possibly being free afterwards? Like, what are you guys thinking of may become of that?
So I hope number one that Wet Hands isn't just like torn asunder and sent to like the nine hells or whatever and tortured forever because that would
Yeah.
suck.
Um,
Like I don't want him to get sent to the blackened tear or some shit like that. Poor guy.
I don't want that to happen. Delson is indifferent. Delson has known Wind Whisper for what, 2 days? A day?
3 or
Like,
4, roughly.
To be honest, Delson is not super attached to Wind Whisper.
The only real interactions you've had with Seabreeze and Wind Whisper were basically in like your fights, like the death
Yeah.
battle. You had an interaction there. The whole thing with the Eye of All, you guys when you were down there. When you guys were on the pier and you had the "You have failed this city" moment. He was
Yeah, but
there.
I think it was just Wind Whisper having fun with chaos, so I don't think Delson really like bonded. He was like, ah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the one thing. Delson and Seabreeze have not bonded that well. Like, I
Also,
feel like Delson has only got really close to Rain and partially to Andy. With Serenity and Seabreeze, Delson has been like, don't really give a shit about you two. Like,
I don't think that Delson gives a shit about Andy either. I think
I think
Rain
Delson. I don't know. This is obviously Andrew gets to choose what his character thinks, but I
yeah.
think Delson cares about Andy because Rain cares about Andy a lot.
That's
I
a
think
good assumption.
Yeah,
he's also actually a good, like, Andy's a good fighter. He's a very Delson's seen Andy in action. Like,
and he sees he's sweet and he's kind. And he has a good heart.
Yeah. My
Andy,
perception of Andrew's not Andrew's feelings, but Delson's feelings towards Andy is kind of like I'm tolerating you kind of vibe. Like I'm gonna tolerate you until I no longer have to deal with you anymore. Until then I want to keep you alive because you seem like a nice guy, but I don't
Yeah.
actually give a shit about you.
you guys did have a good fight interactions when you were in the Eye of All together when you guys were in that one corner. So
That's true.
Yeah. Also, the negatives for Delson and Seabreeze. Rain did specifically say in one of the sessions where it was us together, I think we should get Seabreeze arrested. Rain actively
Right.
pretty much said, I'm worried about Seabreeze and think he's a danger to Zista. And I'm not sure what we should do, but if we have to take fall, I'm not worried about selling him out.
I will also say this is not how Andy perceives Delson and his relationship. This is
Yeah,
how I perceive.
Oh
Andy
yeah, it's because Andy's like, everyone's my best
Andy's
friend. I
kinda
have so many
like,
friends.
my buddy, because he's a dumb little guy. He just thinks everybody's his friend.
I have 2 more questions that I came up with for the discussion for you
Okay.
guys. So next one is thoughts about what you learned in Andy's Clockwork Forest.
Oh man,
I don't remember it, so it's useless to me right now.
You remember
I
it.
can
Rain
read it
doesn't
to
remember
you word for word because
No, I remember it. I remember it. Rain doesn't remember it. But
Right.
me,
Rain
the
doesn't
player, me, Conlon, Conlon
Nikki,
is very
if you wrote
interested.
It down, if you wrote it down, like word for word, read it off right now. I don't have it up on my screen right now.
I got you. Okay, so we were in there. There were the shadows hiding behind the trees. We approached the training grounds, right? Or was it the moving winds?
It was the gazebo.
The gazebo. We approached the gazebo. We heard the guy that had shout, "Run, you fool," at Andy. We heard him saying, "You say that you can keep me from dying, but I won't be myself. What's the point of that?" And Aslata, the Infinite One, responds, "As long as you stay part of the monastery afterwards, your power is something that I actually need. You'll be bound to us, but yes, there's one who came in recently. I can slip you in with a spell. And then he says, whatever you can do, I can't do it myself anymore. Just do it, I'll find a way out. The fuck?
So thoughts on that, guys?
So, okay, yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think there's two options here. One is that there's another soul inside of Andy. Or Andy is the... Now this is kind of confusing because reincarnate in D&D is like two different things. But, or he is the reincarnated version of this soul that was slipped in at one point. So it could either be every time he's alive, he has to participate in the monastery, kind of like an Avatar The Last Airbender thing. Like, the Avatar has to learn all 4 elements. Andy has to go to the monastery no matter what he does. It's either that, or this is the first time it's happened, and it happened when he was brought back. But I don't know which, and there's no way for me to know. Unless I talk to Carson, but I'm a little worried about doing that, because what if he's like, yeah, that's fine and normal.
Yeah, didn't I... Vicky, I had to slip your revived rogue in there. So...
I know, right? So, like, the thing that I'm thinking is that the first option makes less sense to me, because Andy would have been a revived rogue whether or not he had been murdered. If he had continued to be a rogue and not gone to the monastery, he still would have reached level 3 of rogue and taken revived rogue. So that, to me, makes it seem more like he is the reincarnated version of this soul that was slipped in one point or another. That's how it seems to me. But I'm not gonna say that I'm right, because I'm not the dungeon master. So that's my theory. I can't see any other options exactly, but it's kind of... It has big implications for the monastery, because that is super immoral to slip a soul inside of another body, because, like, the question is whether it was in there with the person that was supposed to be in there, or if it just took control of that body. In which case, yikes. Because, like, because the only way that people get reincarnated at the monastery is if they are dead and someone who cares about them brings them to the monastery and pays 500 gold to get them brought back to life, and also indentures them into servitude at the monastery. That's how it works. So somebody literally lost their loved one, potentially, for this guy to be slipped in. And so it's like, hey, that's super bad. You shouldn't do that, baby. It's literally your job not to do that, actually. What are you doing?
You don't know, the monastery might be corrupt.
I mean, I didn't want it to be.
Oh, I ruined everything, remember?
I remember.
It's my fault. Everyone remember, anything that's not perfect and wonderful and sunshine and rainbows, my fault.
It's because of Colin.
Typically in Zista. Last question I have for the discussion is, why do you think Misfortune was watching you?
Because she's so interested in Rain. We had this conversation earlier. She's just following Rain around.
Why Rain specifically?
I had a great conversation with her, and I'm very sure she's suspicious of me. Which is reasonable.
You saw that
Aarakocra.
I did.
You shot that Aarakocra with the Rain, but that you also saw when you escaped out of the Eye of All, you saw Rain in that like stuck space, and then you saw Misfortune up in the window who told you the message. So you know that you, as well as Rain, probably more than anybody other than Rain, knows that Misfortune has some weird interest in you all.
Do you want me to explain the Misfortune thing a little more?
I think that
Andrew?
Misfortune recognizes Rain. That is my theory.
So I think when I went into my little lost world, when she used her fucking mask's special ability thing, which I forgot what it's called. I know Brian said it out loud. I forgot though. I
I
have
don't
bad
remember.
memory.
I think I probably have it in my notes somewhere.
Yeah, but either way, it's not important at this moment. She used that to use it to stun, so that way you can, if you need to interview people, have them arrested easily. Blah blah blah. Makes her job easier. It's one of her abilities is part of the Turkisus 7. She did not expect, I don't think, when she appeared in Rain's Lost World to be standing where she was standing.
Okay.
At all, because we were on top of. Well, this is my assumption. I do not. This is not confirmed or denied within the canon, though I'm very sure about it. We were standing on top of Rain's childhood home in the New Blood housing, and even Miss Fortune, as Brian was kind of saying, was like, "Huh," because she looked around for a second. It was like, this is not where I expected us to be standing at all. Random thief in the Eye of All. Why are we on top of a New Blood house?
Do you think she recognizes the house?
Oh, probably.
And she's like, what the fuck? This house has been empty for
years.
Like
21
years.
20 and a half years, right? Is that the math? That's the correct math.
Like, this house has been empty for so long. Why are we here?
Yeah, no, I think she.
You look about the same age as the girl that went missing from this house.
I'm very sure she looked at Rain, was like, "Wait," and then Rain, and also Rain switched from the hood. I'm gonna call it hood rat accent that she fakes around you guys to her proper Zestalian accent. She switched tones. It's like she started speaking a little normal and went, "No, it's not the time right now. No one else is here." Yeah. Also, I don't think Miss Fortune likes that Rain tricked her up in her own controlled world. Like, Miss Fortune had the ultimate control in this world, and Rain tripped her up and got her to answer questions. And I think that pissed Miss Fortune off a little bit. She's like, I'm supposed to be in charge. And Rain's like, eh.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a rivalry going on here. I think there's a little bit of...
Rain just wants to be her friend.
I think I maybe know who you are type of vibe going on.
Rain just wants to be a business partner with Miss Fortune. She thinks Miss Fortune's
so
extraordinarily helpful.
We always end up making enemies with characters that we want to be friends with. Like me and Feyroor. Like, Feyroor fucking hates Nox Cuts, and she's just like, we could just be friendly rivals, right? You can be friendly with people that you're in competition with. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what Rain's like. I just want to sit down, have a cup of tea, have an adult conversation with you.
I know.
But, alright. Well, I believe this was a good disaster discussion that we had here for the beginning half of the session. So, anybody who is watching this, thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoy the rest of the session that we actually...
Yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of our chaos that is useless. Like, you're going to have so little context. I'm sorry.
All these last couple things that we have discussed, you guys will have an idea of what we did, as well as the things that built up to it that you did miss. So, we apologize for the disaster, but on brand. But yeah, I hope this was informative. I hope you liked the rest of the session, and I hope you join us for the next disaster. Good night.
Goodbye, live stream people, but please keep watching if you're on the video that I'm going to edit.
Enjoy and let the disaster commence.
We might see some shitty shit in a second. As I continue forward.
You guys are walking forward until you guys get to a tile stone walkway. And Andy, you recognize this almost immediately as the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is something where you can see the same pillars of the monastery going up all around, and you're confused a little bit. You were expecting something bad to be coming from all of this in the Clockwork Forest. But you feel comfortable, almost like, hey, you immediately know this is emulating the monastery, and you're confused.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can see each other again now. You have the same clocks built all the way around with the pillars twisting around the actual trees themselves. It looks like the walkway is behind the back of the monastery.
I'll continue.
You don't see any people. It's actually weird. You're so cut off, like, compared to what you normally see in the monastery. And it's just a tile pathway that leads to your left and to your right, far off. You know the direction you guys came from when you came from Delson's was to the left. Where would you like to go?
I look around. Do I see anything first before we decide which way to go?
Roll a perception check.
25.
25.
Yeah.
Okay. You're looking around and you see every once in a while just a shadowed form kind of behind a tree and kind of just hides back. And you look over there and then it catches your eye over there. Same thing. It's like every time you catch it, it kind of hides once more.
I point it out at one point and say, "Do you guys see that?"
You guys look over at
I
the
see
direction
that.
when Andy does point, and you can see the same shadowed figure just ducking beyond.
So
Just-
sure.
I'm gonna go run
I
over
guess
there.
so.
Seabreeze, you break off and you run over there, and by the time you get back there, you look behind it, and there's nobody there.
It's an illusion, Seabreeze.
It's fine. It probably doesn't matter.
Does it continue cycling through itself the way it was before? Not that I know that it did. Is it repeating itself?
What? As you go, you look over and you see it in a different direction. If you run over to that direction, then by the time you get back over the same tree again, and then it changes directions at times, but it keeps on avoiding you all, even as you guys do walk down the tile path a little bit further. It gets to the point where, Andy, at one point you can see the gazebo,
Mhm.
Conlon, and the
Look, a gazebo.
that you guys were with Costin all the time.
Yeah.
And you can see two shadowy figures. Again, no details, standing up there at the top, and it looks like they're talking.
I approach.
You walk up into the gazebo, the same one you've walked several times before. Everybody else follow up with Andy?
Sure.
I definitely am.
As you get there, the two individuals are looking. One of them looks gravely hurt, the way that they're actually like holding on to their chest. Again, it's all blacked out imagery, but you can still see it. And one of them speaks up. It's just like, you say that you can keep me from dying, but I won't be myself. What's the point of that? And you hear another voice speak up. Andy, you do recognize this as the Infinite One speaking. And the other voice that was speaking before, it happened soon enough that you'd recognize it. It sounded very similar to the "Run, you fool."
Uh-huh. Okay.
And you hear a voice from the Infinite One's voice. As long as you stay part of the monastery afterwards, your power is something that I actually need. You'll be bound to us, but yes, there's one who came in recently. I can slip you in with the spell.
You have
And then
another
the
body,
voice,
part of you.
The voice after is just like, whatever you can do, I can't do it myself anymore. Just do it. I'll find a way out. And then it repeats over again. You can, with the same words over and over again.
Does Anaslata look... Does she have any features at all?
It's completely grayed out images. Just like how everything was grayed out before, though, with Delson's, though his shadows were to form. The person who he was going was completely grayed out.
And he's like, well, that's a concern.
And you see the
Okay.
same. You see the same bright white light glowing beyond the gazebo, down where the fight was that you had with that storm elemental at one point. The white light emanating just like before in Delson's.
I point at it and say, well, that's probably the way out.
Okay. What does everybody do as they're seeing this image going on in front of them?
So he said that she was going to slip him into another body?
Slip him in when she casts the spell.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay.
I want to see what would have happened if Wind Whisper goes in there. I guess I'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
Does anybody say anything, do anything, or do you guys just walk right out?
Well, Rain's not here.
Oh, calm Rain.
Yeah, so that's hard to say.
Honestly, I would run off, but there's so little reason to at the moment.
Okay. So do you guys simply just walk in?
As we're walking out, I'm guessing there's a clockwork component to this force as we get towards the exit, correct?
It's the same white light that you guys see before, and once if you guys walk into it, you feel confident that it'll probably do the same thing as before.
Okay, let me do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy leads you guys through the white light, and you guys return out through the mist next to that storage container that is connected to the secret door over the sleeping pit. You guys
is the Duna platform here?
You guys walk over. The Duna platform is still there.
Okay. Rain goes to the
Everybody
controls of the Duna platform.
I'm probably going to sit with my feet hanging over the edge.
And you guys all line back up on the Duna platform in silence. As Rain brings it back over to the staircase. And
as you guys are all standing near me, like in silence, Seabreeze is going to whisper, "I'm sorry, mateys."
I pat his back.
He's probably going to like break down and start crying. It has been a very stressful last 2 days.
Yeah, I rub his back.
Mm-hmm.
Have you found any bit of self-preservation yet?
I give Rain a look.
Yeah, it's a little snarky, but Rain's very tired.
I'm going to be like, I'm going to look up at Rain and be like, not me.
She sighs so loudly and so obviously, and she's controlling she's like, oh my god.
I say, didn't I just tell you to tell us when you run off?
What'd you say, Vicky? Sorry,
I say to Seabreeze, didn't I just tell you to tell us when you run off?
I did.
It's just so defeated under his breath. I did.
What? You didn't tell me.
What happened? No, sorry, I was reading something in chat, so I did not hear what was just happened.
Andy said, "Didn't I tell you to not run off without telling us?" And Seabreeze under his breath, "I did." And Andy's like, "Wait, you did? You didn't tell me."
Rain then like, okay, immediately that part's my fault.
He told you?
Yes, he did. And I told him to be quiet and have just a glance around. Looks directly at him.
I don't blame anybody for this. This was totally my fault and Yick's fault. Like, I'm not.
He's like, no, it's me. Me. I did tell someone, though.
I found something cool.
What'd you find?
I need to go back to the Rainbow Tabaxi to get it to make sure that I don't get your hopes up. But
we've got to go back there anyway. Most of these guys left their stuff there. I didn't have time to get all of their stuff.
I didn't leave
also,
there.
My friend wouldn't give me your stuff.
Also,
can I take my shit from Delson now, please?
Yeah.
I will reach into the bag and give him all his shit back.
How do we
I am going
avoid-
to ask the party if they think I should try to trade information or the physical chaos fragment for my freedom. Is it worth it to piss off my patron, to possibly not get tortured for...
Well, does your patron need the live ones or the dead one, or both of them?
He hasn't been that specific, but I assume it's just the live ones. So my plan is to offer him the dead ones first and see if the research value of those is enough to warrant my...
I don't really like the idea of giving him more powerful objects.
You guys are walking as this happening, by the way, through Forgotten Storage. I rolled. There's not going to be any encounters, but I'm sure you guys are.
We're following the tracks that Wind Whisper left and that Yik left because
Yeah,
we saw
and
them
that we
clearly
left.
last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We left tracks too.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Oh man, the choice. Do we leave a note for the guards when we get to the end when we go to leave?
Nope. just
That
let 'em go.
says
What? Guards?
no, but Rain doesn't want that poor captain to just die.
There are guards?
Not yet. But they went to go get a warrant. They're eventually going to go in.
Yeah, they let us. They let us here. Remember?
No,
No,
I
he
didn't.
wasn't with us. Rain's like, oh
Oh,
yeah, they're all
fuck.
gods. We should
What if
probably
the
leave them a
guard get
note
my
that the problem's been solved.
Okay, he looks like this now, though.
Oh, that's why we have to help
They
them not
never saw
outside.
me.
Okay, maybe I should go out first.
Well, then you might go to jail. You are the one who trespassed it initially.
What?
Maybe I should go out first because they don't know who the fuck I am. Like, they know me as a
How do we get
potentially
here
suspicious
without
person
I think-
from
Maybe we can find.
the eyeball.
Maybe we should just find a different exit.
I don't think they're sitting waiting at the entrance.
Well, there's only really one way to find out, and I don't really want to get arrested.
Well, we're gonna walk towards the entrance. We're gonna take a little look out and see what the situation is, and if it's
I'm
not
gonna
good,
be fucking
we'll-
stealthy then. Okay.
All
Yeah, as we
as
get
you guys
closer
are
to the entrance, we're gonna
approaching
get
the
stealthy.
exit, everybody roll a stealth check.
Rolling stealth check.
yeah, we saw these prance out, and there's just 30 guards ready to go in. We're like, oh, we solved it.
For one, but it wasn't. It's a 25.
Nat 20, so that's a lot.
It was so
22.
close to being a nat one.
Seabreeze and Delson.
Mine is a 27.
That was at disadvantage, Callum.
Yeah, it was.
Holy fuck.
Nice.
27 as well.
I rolled a 19.
Okay.
I have a plus 10 stealth.
You guys are all walking
Yeah.
next to the storage containers pretty stealthily with the mist to obscure you, and the outside world starts getting a little bit more noticeable once more. The mist is no longer obscuring too much, and
Oh, by the way, along the way, I would like to take all of my glow sticks and rings from
yes, you can get left those back. You can see the one that was tied to the string hanging at the end right now with nothing hanging on to it whatsoever anymore.
Well, first, are there any people around when we get there?
The roads look pretty abandoned out here. When you first got here, it seemed like not many people travel around this area anyway, just because of the ominous feeling. Roll a perception check as you're getting near the end, all of you.
Yeah.
Just to see if you see anything outside.
25 again.
14.
I'm rolling so good today.
9.
You said perception?
Yes.
21.
I've only rolled below a 10 twice today
And what
on
did you
the
get, Seabreeze?
dice.
I got a 21.
Seabreeze, Andy, and Delson.
Uh-huh.
So nobody sees anything obscure like guards or even honestly really many people. But you guys both catch faintly on a rooftop ahead the mask of misfortune just looking down at you all.
I'm gonna flip her the bird!
Do not do that!
Before she quickly just looks at you all and then just turns and runs.
Did
off the
Rain
rooftop.
see that?
Rain did not see that.
Okay.
I
I-
flip the bird.
I whispered to Rain. Misfortunes was watching us.
Then I think we should scatter for the night.
Okay.
I'll go get our stuff from the Rainbow Tabaxi.
Whoever has stuff will have to get it themselves.
Honestly, I'd kind of
Yeah.
like to dance a little bit more. What time is it?
Wait, I'm gonna look over at Andy when you say that. And I'm gonna be like, please dance with me for a little while.
Okay.
Okay.
What time is it though?
Past
what time
midnight.
is
It's
it?
probably almost 1 a.m.
Everybody looking up at the sky and seeing the position of the moon and the trajectory of the moon and the stars.
Probably at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh shit! Actually, I'm gonna need to go to bed so that I don't have another point of exhaustion.
You guys, look
Yeah.
up, you would imagine it's somewhere around the 1 o'clock area of the morning.
By the time we get there, the place is gonna be closed pretty
No,
much.
it's not. They're open till like 4 a.m.
I thought Brian said like 2 when we asked.
People start leaving around 2, but it does stay open till
Oh,
the middle
okay.
of the night. It's going to be very empty. It's going to be like that last call, like, all right, like this
I'd like to
person.
go back and dance a little bit more, maybe.
I need to go get the thing for you guys.
Yeah.
Rain asks Delson, do you have any stuff you must pick up at the Rainbow Tabaxi?
I don't.
I don't
Walk
think I
me
left
home.
anything.
I
Huh?
think Serenity left stuff there.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll call
Wait,
with
what?
you guys.
What did you say?
Somebody other than me did, otherwise
wait
I
for
wouldn't
them.
have asked for your stuff.
Rain asks you to walk her home.
Does this
Delson
look romantic?
will just nod.
Insight
check,
check.
Andy.
I'm going to.
I'm rolling mine at disadvantage.
18.
18.
That's a fucking 2.
Yeah.
There's not anything really romantic, but there's like this bond that you've definitely noticed has formed between Rain and Delson.
I'd do like a sage nod and give Rain a wink.
Can I try to pinch Delson's butt?
Roll a stealth check if you're sneaking up to try to do it.
I'm not sneaking at all.
Oh, you
Okay.
might
guys
lose
are
a hand.
Feathery pinchers up in
Before you
there.
have
So-
what you're doing.
Remember, you do have 1 HP.
Delson, are you going to let Seabreeze pinch your butt? He's coming up from behind.
My echo is going to appear behind him.
Roll a
So all
dexterity
you
check,
hear
both of you.
is like a cello, but I'm making the sound with my mouth, and I'm like dun 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 dun.
Roll initiative, you two, just to see who gets their action first, whether the pinch happens, and
Yeah.
Tyler, this is a skill check, so you get disadvantage.
I know. I got a 19.
I got 21.
21. So, as Seabreeze is getting close to pinching your butt, what happens, Tails?
My echo just shoves him to the ground. Well, not no,
Not lethally.
not a shove. Honestly, the echo just trips him.
just coming for the pinch, and then just Seabreeze, you fall flat on your face, not dealing any damage. However,
Just your
God.
pride is damaged.
yeah, your
I'm
pride
literally
will
just
be-
gonna lay there for like a good 15 seconds before I say anything, and then finally I'm like, it's so tiring continuing to hit the ground.
My echo is
Maybe
my
one of
echo
these times you'll won't do something
my
so
echo is
stupid.
gonna- my echo's gonna pick him up.
I'm just gonna like collapse into his arms, and I'm like, carry me.
We're going different directions.
Technically
Alright, so
illegal.
you guys walk outside of the storage container.
Yeah,
With
I
somebody-
take my ring.
I need everybody to roll a wisdom saving throw
Wait, what?
as you're
Okay.
walking outside of Forgotten Storage.
It's because
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
this spell effect.
Ooh.
Oh,
Uh,
I got a nat.
Delson, you get advantage on it because you're a half elf.
okay.
22.
18.
21.
Nice.
12.
12. Everybody but Delson and Rain remembers everything.
Uh-huh.
Delson, you and Rain remember the deal and the conversation with everything that happened within Yik's area, but you forget everything else that happened in Forgotten Storage.
Even the woods thing?
Yes.
Oh
They
shit.
forget everything that didn't happen within Yick's area. You remember the
Okay.
mention of Clockwork Forest and stuff like that, because Yick protected all of you for that. And everybody else who did save, you remember it, but like it's kind
fuzzy.
of blurry, fuzzy at times. Like
So we remember
like,
once we entered that container, is what you're saying?
no, you remember once you walked out of the fog into Yick's courtyard.
Okay, that's what I was just double checking. Okay.
So you don't remember the Clockwork Forest.
Oh, great. So
you-
the little doodle I probably put in my notebook is gonna be gibberish to me.
And you guys, as you walk out, it's like both you, Delson, and Rain. You're like, wait, what happened? Like you remember going into Forgotten Storage. Rain, you remember the like. Then let's do walking into Forgotten Storage. Then you remember being at Yick's place, and now suddenly you're outside here again. All the in between bits are gone.
Rain's like, well, he's
Same
out,
thing
so
with
And a
Delson.
lot of time is missing.
Rain is kind of just gonna look at Seabreeze and be like, well, the problem was solved. Rain is literally gonna write a very lazy note that says "problem solved." Take a crappy knife that she has on her and just stab it into one of the into the wall and be like, hopefully the gods see that.
I'm gonna ask Rain, do you want me to stay and not let them go in?
No.
No,
If they choose to go in, it's their fault.
No, you're gonna get arrested, bud.
They don't need to die on my behalf.
If they choose to die,
Oh,
it's because
so
they're stupid and
probable.
can't read a goddamn note.
I can't read a goddamn note.
Yes, but your intelligence is dramatically lower than most of the paladins in the city.
That's what she's saying. You stupid.
Aw.
So, not
Andy!
really.
That would be like
sorry,
meant as
I'm
an
sorry.
insult. She was just saying you can't read. I know you can't read, and that's fine. There's no negative connotation against it.
I just heard the series and I'm like, you're the one who led them to you, right?
I didn't say that in character. It was totally just Callum. Like,
then it's fine.
So where do you guys go to spend the rest of your night?
We're splitting up the
Oh,
party
yeah.
again.
Dance a little bit.
Rain asked me to walk her home, so me and Rain are gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go secure the playing cards.
So
And
they're going to
then
go to
go
Rainbow
to
Tabaxi. So half the party's going to the
Yeah.
Rainbow Tabaxi. The other half's going to Rain's house. So I think we should take a quick break right now. And then- Because it depends how late we want to play.
Not too much later, honestly. Probably pretty short right here.
I actually think I'm probably just gonna sign off when it hits 9 o'clock because I gotta
Yeah.
get
I
out.
was-
and let
Okay,
them
that's what you
have
guys
that.
need to do. That's fine.
As you guys are starting to split up, Serenity, you see a quick, and you see the quickling of Peach with the pink-haired back come up and be like, "Hey, Serenity, where have you
Hi,
been?
Peach.
I've been searching for a while."
Oh, we went in there.
Don't
Oh.
do
Pointing
that.
thumb back.
Well, you have a client request. It's actually another one. That one you went to the other day, the house call one, Kinsell. They're over
Yeah.
at Fortune's welcome gift for you, waiting.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
if they're
look at
still
Andy and
waiting.
be like,
It's been a while, but
can you double check on that? And I'll meet you between here and Rainbow Tabaxi.
I mean, yeah, I'll go see if they're still there.
Okay.
And it just runs off in a direction.
I'm gonna look
I
at Andy.
remember the quickest way to the Rainbow Tabaxi, so I'll lead them that way.
And I'll be. So, and do you think my Quickling could pick up my shit if I have to go?
No.
Probably not. You could come
Even
back
if I-
tomorrow. She'll
Okay,
still
I'll
have
be
your
back.
stuff. She's
Okay.
really reliable.
Hmm. All right.
I
Are
just
you
figured
guys?
it might be easier for the Quickling with my note to do it or something.
She has to have the person whose name it is. It's kind of like this whole thing. She's very like.
You're literally the
Honorable.
only one who could pick up other people's stuff, Serenity.
I tried real hard, and I've known her for 6 years, and she said no to me. So,
Okay.
put it
Well, I
that way.
figured send it to my personal Quickling.
She doesn't
No.
know that
Yeah.
she's not lying, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are all heading down the long eastern street towards Eastern Freedom to go and split off in your own separate directions. Some of you back to the Rainbow Tabaxi, others to head over to Rain's location to have probably a private conversation.
I lick up
And-
any blood that's on my body from the mimic fight.
And with the Lucky Sink back together once again,
We
you guys
immediately
walk
split
through
the party.
streets, split the party, but that will be for next week's session. So, Seabreeze didn't die again, guys.
I'm
did
so
say-
glad.
State of his teeth.
Not yet. Like,
Seabreeze is now on his Wind Whisper visage, whatever it is again. With that old
Visage.
appearance. Visage. So
Yeah.
you look like the Kenku that the guard has been trying to find for several days.
Yep.
Right.
So that's why you're
Right.
wearing my black cloak, my big black cloak that I have.
yeah, before I go into the place, I'm gonna put my disguise kit on to make myself look as much like my old blue.
Aw.
Oh, yeah, and Seabreeze is not wet anymore. He's
Blue tint
he's
on his feathers.
he's a little bit dry, which is a little bit sad, but all right. So,
All right, guys, I'm gonna head off for the night.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Alright.
wanted to say everything. I'm glad Seabreeze has been rescued properly.
Mhm.
Interesting deal you guys have made. We'll see where things go.
I need
a bit
to
in the
add those
future.
scrolls to my equipment.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yes you do. I wrote down
Oh.
exactly what you got, so don't
You
worry.
guys-
And I'll
you guys-
send you the new health that I have once I take off the points and shit.
Okay. And the Lucky Sink have a few more hours left of the last night before everything gets super complicated tomorrow. We're
Yep.
ever so closer
The
to
day's
gala,
still
guys.
not over.
Yeah.
Maybe by session 30 the gala will happen.
Wrong.
Oh no, it won't, Brian. You're unrealistic.
All right, guys. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming to another episode of Nat Disaster. Please follow us on Twitch and YouTube, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We are still trying to get to our goals there. And everybody, have a good night.
Night.
Good night.